things sometimes on social media where people will raise a question: if there's a vaccine developed, will you take it? And a lot of people say no. Because I mean, you don't know what it might do.
I actually, right, and I myself have said that amongst people that I know personally. I don't think I would feel comfortable taking a vaccine. House, your opinion on that? Because what if you have other issues, illnesses going on? And someone had pointed in our direction a newscaster. He was African American, and he got blasted on Twitter for saying that us as minorities are affected from this COVID due to our lack of information of health and our health at state where it is now. Currently, minorities are the highest rates to have diabetes, hypertension, and certain diseases. And our nutrition, we're not eating healthy, and due to the socioeconomic demographics in certain areas, it's not offered for certain people to eat good. So then is that a racist statement against minorities, or is that just is it a racist statement in your opinion, or do you feel that we all currently need to be more proactive with our health and monitoring where we are health-wise because of this and wanting to deny a vaccine if presented to us? What if they put this out there where it is like you must take the vaccine? If they pressured Americans to say you have to, would you resist? Aaron?
I probably wouldn't. It just totally depends. Just like any other virus, like with the measles and any of these other little shots that you're taking when you're coming up, they got to be tested. Some people is going to be great, other people is not.
Okay. And I, and that's, I see where you're coming from. I mean,
you can only go over time. You can only go over time before you figure out who is. Some people might be allergic to the things that's in it. Some people might not. But it might be the benefit of everybody, of the body as a whole. For us to kind of get out of this. But we are in the United States. We're not China. We're not a dictatorship. We're a democracy.
Right.
So it'll be your choice. And that's all you really want to ask for, is to have a choice.
So, and our choice, and you pointed out a very valid point, we're not under a dictatorship, so that could never just be enforced because, honestly, I've never had to take a flu shot ever, and I don't get the flu. Like when flu season comes around, I do take precautions and matters to build my immune system to keep it at a point to where it is strong, and those are methods that I've just been consistent with. So, Daryl, to add to what House is saying and I'm saying, what do you think about enforcing the vaccine, or do you take other precautions as a person? Like, would you be forced and would you do it, or do you have an opinion about even taking a vaccine at this point?
Well, I have an opinion. I'd be a little skeptical. This country has had a horrific history when it comes to testing and vaccines and experiments. I think back to the Tuskegee experiments, and even though that was a long time ago, where they, tried to test a cure for syphilis or something like that, and who were the candidates? They pretty much forced a group of men, African-American men, to submit themselves to actually being injected with the disease, therefore to see if there was a way to cure it. And the problem I might have if I'm told, well, there's a vaccine, it will prevent the coronavirus, COVID for short, I would be skeptical because I'd want to know, okay, what are the side effects and how much testing has been done, And sometimes, what if you're a perfectly healthy person, they inject you, just like I think you mentioned about flu shots. And I know my father used to get flu shots all the time when he was alive. And I used to say, I don't know if that's a good idea. Why would, you inject yourself with the flu virus? I understand the thought behind it is to create, but also to create some resistance. But, generally the thought is you inject yourself with the disease so they can cure the disease. I mean, it just, to me, doesn't always make sense. And I know people who've had flu shots who get the flu. Okay?
And that's what happened to me. I had to get it. Yeah. I was forced to take it because I was a teacher in Hawaii. And honestly, I was very resistant, but I wanted the job. And when I took that shot, I wind up getting the flu. So it weakened my immune system. And that's my apprehension, guys, because certain people, and you have to focus on those that are older or people that are just not into taking care of their health. There's a lot of people that eat fast food, and I'm not talking against anyone, but a lot of individuals that are being affected by this, and some are very healthy, and then just some sneak up on you. But taking a vaccine currently that's still in the works is something I would be apprehensive to taking.
But Daryl, seeing that you put it that way, I would agree with you as well, to the point of I wouldn't be one of the first people to take the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? But I would want to see how it would go along and with everyone else, and then if I felt at the appropriate time it was good to take it, I would. You know what I'm saying? Just to be honest, just like anything else with medical stuff.
Correct.
I mean, who's going to profit from this actually? I mean, just ask yourself who's going to actually correct pharmaceutical.
Right.
Yeah.
And they work with the government. So
and it all goes back down to economics.
And honestly, these are just, to me, this is like, okay, let's try this and see how many it will be a success and how many it would be non-successful for them to gather some statistics on this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be anyone's guinea pig. And so to bounce right back to something, and you guys were talking about the economy, because this seems like where this is being more pushed because of our economy. So Mark Cuban, and I'm pretty sure everyone who's familiar with Mark Cuban, he discussed with Fox News the economic impact of this virus in the business virtual world, so in the virtual town hall. And he discussed he's never been shy about expressing his views on business and the economy. So from what he stated, and this is interesting, viewers also had the ability to submit a video questions for consideration. So related to this was more than 4.4 million laid-off workers applied for U.S. unemployment benefits just last week as job cuts escalated across an economy that remains all but shut down. The government said this last Thursday, and roughly 26 million people have now filed for jobless aid in the 5 weeks since the coronavirus outbreak began, forcing millions of employers to close their doors. So about 1 in 6 American workers have lost their jobs in the past 5 weeks. And this is thus by far the worst string of layoffs on record. And that's more than the number of people who live in the 10 largest U.S. cities combined. So have you guys, when hearing this information, are there those that you see around you, your loved ones, some of your friends, your colleagues, that are being hit like this? And what matters are you taking, or are they taking to get assistance? Let's go with House. Aaron Woodhouse, are you there? Daryl Hines, are you there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
House will chime in. What you heard what I said about this the economy
Well, my primary example is my son, who's a chef, and his restaurant, they've been taking a conservative approach, even with the reopening of the state. Before that, they went from a dine-in to a curbside service. And in fact, when I've gone there, you aren't able to come in the restaurant. You order from outside. Even if you walk up there, they have a table set. They have a table that blocks the door, and everyone inside the restaurant who will remain there wearing masks and gloves. And then when someone orders, they have to stay outside, wait for their order, and then it's brought out to them. And they're continuing to do that, from what I understand. Well, yeah, they're continuing to do that. Even with the opening of certain businesses, their approach is still to be cautionary and not to allow dine-in service at this point. And I think they're going, what my son has told me, they're going to adhere to that position for the next 30 days at least, because with that, they figure it'll give them time to see the overall effects of reopening things.
That actually makes a lot of sense, what they're doing and what he's doing, and what the company is doing as a whole, because I believe, and I actually agree with their precautions, that we all still need to take matters in our hands with taking the time to do what's best for your health and listening to what's being said and not walking in fear, but practicing good hygiene, washing your hands for over 20 seconds, wearing your mask, wearing gloves when you're out and about, and also staying home. We do have to go out for essentials. You go to the grocery store, you have to restock on certain things. Life itself has totally changed. And Aaron Woodhouse, are you still with us? House, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Uh-huh.
Okay. So we were just talking about, Daryl made some points about, with this economy, and then his son, who is an executive chef at the Lawrence, and they are not inclined to reopening and still going to do curbside orders to take out. And so
also,
with that said,
if you look at some of these nail salons, some of the places that he said that he wanted to open are refusing to open.
Right.
And that's because they want to be safe, and they want to make sure that they can continue to stay open instead of being open for a short period of time. I mean,
correct.
The restaurant business, I think the restaurant industry kind of got it. If they got a chain, they kind of got it figured out on how to do it. Because I've been to a pizza joint where they only let one person inside. They got these lines built in. Even in your Kroger's now, they have these lines of practicing social distancing. You know what I'm saying? So basically it's trying to become a new way of life for us right now. This coronavirus has changed everybody's life in one way or another. And it changes the way we socialize. I've had a couple friends back home who their parents passed away. They could only have 10 people at the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it's changing the way we deal with one another, and it is affecting our economy. You gotta realize people are losing money. But how can you spend that money if you're not safe?
Exactly.
So that's why
if you're
some of
going
the
to survive, are we going to outlive this virus or the economy? Let's question that. That's, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to ask you guys one final question. What steps do you think the country should take to reopen the economy? I would like to just hear what type of insight the both of you gentlemen would have on this. It's not the all-to-all answer, but what is your opinion about that? What approach should we take? Neither one of you can chime in when you're ready.